The morning sunlight streamed through the blinds, casting soft golden streaks across the bedroom walls. Emily stretched lazily under her warm covers, feeling the comforting weight of her golden retriever, Cooper, curled at her feet. He had always been an early riser, but today there was something different about his energy. He shifted restlessly, his head lifting as he stared toward the door. His ears twitched, and his tail thumped once against the bed. Emily yawned and reached down to scratch behind his ears. "What's up, boy?" she murmured, her voice thick with sleep. Cooper responded with a soft whimper before jumping off the bed and trotting toward the bedroom door. He stopped and turned, his deep brown eyes fixed on her as if urging her to follow. Frowning slightly, Emily sat up. "Cooper, what is it?" she asked, but he only whined again, his tail still and stiff. Something about his behavior sent a small shiver down her spine. He was usually excited in the mornings, nudging her playfully or bringing her one of his toys. But now he seemed tense, almost anxious. Shaking off the unease, she slid out of bed and padded toward the door. As she opened it, Cooper darted out, heading straight to the front door of the house. He sat there, his nose pressed against the crack, sniffing aggressively. Emily walked over and peered through the peephole. The suburban street outside was quiet, bathed in the soft orange glow of the rising sun. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Still, Cooper didn't budge. His growl was low and steady. "All right, boy, I don't see anything," she said, rubbing his back soothingly. "Come on, let's get breakfast." Reluctantly, Cooper followed her to the kitchen, though he kept glancing over his shoulder. Emily poured herself a cup of coffee while Cooper sat by his food bowl, ears still perked. She tried to ignore the tension in her chest, chalking it up to an overactive imagination. But as she sipped her coffee, a notification popped up on her phone. Her best friend, Jessica, had sent a message. "Hey, be careful. Just saw on the news, there's been a string of break-ins in the area. Happened late at night while people were asleep." Emily's grip on the coffee mug tightened. She glanced down at Cooper, who was still watching the door. A chill ran down her spine. Maybe he wasn't just being weird. Maybe he had sensed something she hadn't. She quickly typed back, "Thanks for the heads up. I'll be careful." Cooper let out a heavy sigh and finally started eating, though Emily couldn't shake the feeling of unease. The day went on as usual. She left for work, making sure to double-check the locks before heading out. Cooper gave her a lingering look before she left, his usual tail wag missing. As she drove away, she made a mental note to check the security cameras when she got home. Hours later, as she pulled into the driveway, she saw Cooper sitting by the living room window, watching her intently. The sight made her smile, but when she stepped inside, her smile faded. The front door was locked just as she had left it, but something felt off. Cooper rushed to her, his nose pressing against her leg as he sniffed her jeans urgently. Okay, buddy, I'm home," she said, bending down to pet him. But instead of his usual happy wiggles, Cooper remained stiff, his gaze locked on the back door. A cold knot formed in her stomach. She moved cautiously through the house, checking each room. Everything seemed in place, but when she reached the back door, she saw it, the faintest scratch marks near the lock. Her breath hitched. Someone had tried to break in. Cooper let out a soft growl, standing protectively at her side. Heart pounding, Emily immediately called the police. Within minutes, an officer arrived, taking down her statement and inspecting the door. "Looks like someone tried to tamper with it," he said, examining the scratches. "You said your dog was acting strange this morning?" Emily nodded. "Yeah, he was pacing by the door, growling. I thought he was just being anxious." The officer gave Cooper an approving look. Sounds like he knew something was up. Dogs have great instincts. After checking the security footage, they confirmed that a shadowy figure had approached the house the previous night, but left before getting inside. It sent a shiver down Emily's spine. She had been sleeping just feet away, completely unaware. The officer reassured her that they would keep an eye on the neighborhood and suggested she upgrade her locks. "And keep this guy close," he added, nodding at Cooper. "He might have saved you from a break-in." That night, as Emily lay in bed with Cooper curled beside her, she felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. He had sensed the danger before she had, staying alert when she was completely unaware. She wrapped an arm around him, pressing her face into his fur. "Thanks, buddy," she whispered. Cooper let out a contented sigh, but his body remained watchful, ears still attuned to the sounds of the night. And Emily knew, without a doubt, that she would always trust him. Because Cooper knew before she ever did.